Ready.
Welcome, everyone. Today's guest is Jaime Baird. She was born and raised in Florida. She has her bachelor's degree from University of Florida in marketing. She has a master's in communication from the University of Central Florida. She's a former IFBB Bikini Pro International and Olympia. Congrats on that success. That's awesome. And she's a former editor-in-chief of Fitness RX for Women magazine. Today now, she is focusing on her fitness and wellness business. Okay, so we are pursuing to make Orlando a healthier place. Are you ready to get started?
Heck yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. So we actually stumbled upon your fitness bands and a lot of your stuff through Instagram, and I've never seen a lateral resistance band like this, because normally in rehab, we see these resistance bands to work on glute strengthening a lot. And we saw this, I was like, we have to get her on the podcast to kind of highlight this. So tell us a little bit about your bands and how you got started with this business.
So glute bands, or these resistance bands, are things that I have trained with, gosh, for over a decade. But of course, as you kind of mentioned, the bands we're used to seeing look a little bit more like this. And my passion really for training with these bands is I was one of those people, the classic case of glute amnesia. My butt did not fire up in the training that I was doing. Any kind of lower body exercise for me was basically just a hamstring exercise because my glutes were completely shut off. So I started incorporating band work about a decade ago when I started competing, because I had no booty. I was so flat fannied. We actually used to joke that I had beleg because my butt just kind of ran right into the leg. There was no distinction. So anyways, I started using some of those rubber resistance bands, gosh, about a decade ago, to work on firing up my backside. And at that time, I actually wasn't even aware of the therapeutic benefits. I really was just going for aesthetics, trying to improve my physique. And then over time, what I found was I was having fewer knee pains, less hip injuries, all encompassing. I became a healthier body using the bands. So over time, I ended up incorporating these bands into my training almost daily. So sometimes they get used to help me with activation before a cardio, before a run. Yeah. Sometimes I use them to get my booty activated before I do a lower body workout. Sometimes I add them into my squats and my deadlifts to keep my butt awake and working. And then now I even use them as an assistant, a way to amp up regular calisthenics, from jumping jacks to plyometrics, and also use them to help with stretching some too. So they kind of get incorporated in my whole world. So then based on that, I was unhappy with the traditional fitness band that we see. They're not only the rubberiness, they slide, they roll up. They, if you're a dude, they will pull on your leg hairs.
Pull on your leg hair, yeah.
Yes. So they're not really a great thing that you want to have to experience on a daily basis. So I wanted to create something better. So my bands are cotton. They don't slip. They don't roll. You can throw them in the washing machine. You can dry them. So completely hygienic. They stand up to the sweatiest workouts. I run a boot camp every month outdoors in the Florida heat, and it's humid and hot and sweaty, and these stand up. They don't slide, they don't move. But on top of that, they're beautiful, or as I like to say, bootyful. We have a bright, bold prints that really stand out. We wear shorts and tanks and t-shirts and socks that all have personality and color and boldness. And I wanted to have the same thing in my band, especially since I was going to be using it and wearing them every day. And the same for my clients and for the people of Central Florida. So I have 3 designs: a snake band, which is the heavy resistance. And this is really all about fierceness. This was the inspiration for this design. Nice. And then I have a moderate floral band, which, guys, floral is okay for guys too. It's actually a #1 trend for men's in fashion. But the floral band is all about life and beauty. and Rebirth. And this right here is my Shine band, and it's also a moderate resistance. And this is kind of my message in general, is I just want people to go out into the world and shine. So those are the 3 bands.
Yeah, we love the branding. I love the concept. You know, all of us, whether you're in rehab, fitness, whatever, we've used the bands before for lateral hip strength. And a lot of times we run into the same problems. Exactly what you're talking about is either the bands break, they roll up. Being able to put a band on for clams or bridging on a guy who has leg hair is always a problem. So you're solving multiple problems here with your band. So we love that. I love the branding. I love the messages on it. That's awesome stuff there. And glute weakness is something that we see a lot, not just in people who currently have pain, but we do have, like, we like to call it a inhibition of the glutes, and normally there's underlying reasons for that. But it's very common, whether you're in rehab or solving an injury or a pain that you're having. We see that a lot. And you even mentioned it earlier, like you were having some knee pain too. So whether it's low back injuries, SI joint, hip injuries, or even knee injuries, hip strength is almost one of the underlying risk factors that could be adding into that. And that's why in our recovery process, in our treatment approach, we do add in strengthening to the glutes and hips and stuff. So what are some of your favorite exercises that you like to use the bands for?
So my go-to essentials are, number 1, the hip bridge. So band above the knees. I love to do
kind of like a side plank.
Oh no, a bridge on your.
Oh, okay, back. Bridge. Got it.
Yep. I love to do these with isometric holds at the top. I think it's super effective for really lighting up the glute. And I'll even do at the top, where you're doing the isometric hold, a little tiny pulse outward with the knee to get some further activation to the adductors and the medius. And then, of course, your quadrupled hip extension is basically, for anyone out there, on all fours, kicking the legs straight up, fire hydrants. And then from a standing position, I love something called a tiptoe squat, which is really of my design. So basically you're in a wide squat, you shift all your weight to one leg, and then you take the other foot, and it's like you're doing a touch with your toe to the front and the back in a squatting motion. So that's a great one. And then of course the standing glute kickback. And if you're actually working with weights, I love a goblet squat with a band around the hips, as well as a Romanian deadlift with the band right above the knees. And then for anyone else out there, for something really different, you can throw on the band and get on the step mill. And
very good.
Yeah, so that really adds another layer of challenge. Not like the step mill isn't challenging enough, but you add a band and the glute work is awesome.
Yeah, so like a lot of these things, using lateral bands, it's not just to increase strength, or it's not just to do some like neuromuscular activation or some warm up if you're dealing with an injury, but you can add the bands into some of these common exercises and it increases the glute activation. Jaime said it best on the one with the bridge where you actually spread your knees apart too. That's been shown by research to increase a lot more glute activation, glute median, glute max. And we use that a lot with our SI joint patients, whether you're after a fall, after a pregnancy, and you have an SI joint problem. That's a great one to stabilize the SI joint and pelvis, that we use that one a lot. So we actually went and visited your website too. So we actually want to hear about, not only the band stuff, but what are some other programs that you offer? Because we saw stuff like the Shine Workshop. Is it the Sweat and Style and the Sweat for Good? So what are some other programs that you also offer off of your website?
So on a monthly basis, I do a boot camp under my initiative that I'm building called Sweat for Good. And Sweat for Good is about feeling good, surrounding yourself with good, and doing good in the community. So every month I partner with Luke's Kitchen and Bar here in Maitland, and we do a boot camp completely for charity. So it's a $10 minimum donation. I run the boot camp. The people that come are an amazing group of positive, energetic men and women. And so it's a really great place to network with like-minded, fit people. And by the way, welcome to all levels. I make the workout such that you can be super advanced or be just a novice, right? Getting right into fitness.
Yeah.
And then all of the money is donated to charity. We've been donating to One Heart for women and children for a number of our programs, but we've also donated to Dress for Success. And our upcoming boot camp is going to go to Molly Ray Elementary School. So,
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so we're continuing to do things to help support our community here, Central Florida. So the next one is August 31st. And if you would like to reserve your spot, there are very limited number of spots. You can send me a note on social media.
Yeah.
Or you can visit my website, send me a note there, or call Luke's directly.
Okay.
So that's
Perfect.
one. I'm always producing new events to help people make living well and healthy a reality. So my whole goal is to teach people what they can do to make it possible, to make fit living work for them and happen for them. I think that with the amount of information that's out there in the world, it's really overwhelming. Everything seems to be conflicting. It makes it feel like it's not something that can be real for you. So I help people design a lifestyle that can support their fitness and health and wellness goals. And so one event that I did was called Sweat and Shine. And that was a workshop, and I'll be doing another one of those, I'm sure, in the future. Also just finished up a 30-day challenge, which was called Sweat and Style. And that was all about helping people get what they need, get a good jump start on their fitness for 30 days. And we incorporated also a stylist. Her name was Carrie Bellich. So we did this for summer. So not only did we help women with their fitness, but we helped them identify swimwear that would be great for their body type, how to pack for vacation, all those kind of fun lifestyle things to kind of kick off your summer with a bang.
Nice. I love the concept of some of that stuff. I mean, that's awesome. It's always great to give back. We donate a proceed or a portion of our quarterly profits to Orlando Children's Church. So as we all become successful, it's always great to give back. And sometimes giving back and seeing the joy that you do is even very more fulfilling than the actual, like, the business side of stuff. So giving back's awesome. Yeah.
I always say it's not how far you climb, it's how many people you take with you along the way.
So true. That's so true. So yeah, I love the other kind of programs you offer. That's awesome. That's very exciting. I'll have to sign up for one if there's some spots available. So I'll have to go online and kind of register for one of those. So
yes, and also with that said, I do work with women on a one-on-one basis too for help with fitness and lifestyle design. So that's something else that I do.
Nice. Yeah, we looked over your website. We love the brand. We love your story. I think, you know, your website shows how passionate you are and how you're willing to help other women out. And I think the website's great. But speaking of the website, you know, people who are watching this and our followers, where can they find out more information about you? Where can they order the bands from? And where can they find out information about your other programs?
So it's my website is JaimeBaird.com, and it's a little tricky because my first name's spelled a little different. It's Jaime Baird.
Yeah.
That's Baird. So Jaime, it's like Jaime. Just so you know, I was named after the Bionic Woman, Jaime Summers, and that's how she spelled her name. So that's that. So JaimeBaird.com. To get right to the bands to purchase, that's JaimeBaird.com/shop. And then you can always see what's new with me on social media. On Instagram, it's Jaime.Baird. And on Facebook, it's Jaime Baird. And you can also find me on Twitter, again, Jaime Baird.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm sure that you'll always run into that because everyone spells Jaime slightly different and stuff. So
yes,
but
right.
You have a very good social presence, so I'm sure everyone's gonna be able to find you. But are you ready for the Fab Five questions? This is the little surprise. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, what book are you reading right now?
Big Magic.
Nice. What is your favorite restaurant in Orlando?
Luke's.
Oh, nice. There you go. I haven't been there yet. I'll have to check that out.
Oh, you have to go.
But-
Amazing.
So,
My husband swears by the burger, but I
yeah,
swear by anything fish.
yeah, same here. I love both those, so I'm gonna have to check it out. So, who is an under radar small business owner or CEO or business that you really love in Orlando that people don't really know about, or something, or someone that you love of what they're doing?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Moveo. They offer all sorts
I've heard of that.
Yeah, really cool fitness products, owned by Becky Peavy. She does a lot in the community. She has the most gorgeous yoga mats ever, and she's here in Orlando.
Yeah, we'll have to check her out then, definitely. So, number 4, what are you currently doing that's new and different in order to stay healthy?
Well, I have recently transitioned a lot of my workouts to mostly outdoor training. So I have been a gym rat for, a decade or so. And recently I've been taking my bands outdoors and doing more like boot camp calisthenic kind of training for myself.
Mhm.
And this is just kind of my ins and outs of waves of my fitness. So this is where I am right now. It's because it's summer and I love the sunshine and I'm taking advantage of it. And not to mention, I'm a new mom, so sometimes it's a little difficult to get away completely. So
Yeah.
it makes it easy with a baby.
Congrats, baby son, baby girl.
Yeah, baby son.
Nice.
He is going to be 1 in a few weeks, and he is our little IVF miracle. So I'm so
Very
grateful
nice.
for him. His name is Bowie, and
Oh, very nice. What a
yeah.
blessing. That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's hard being a parent, but it's totally worth it. It just takes that level of love to another level that
breaks
so
your
amazing.
heart wide open.
Yep. Last question is, what's one problem in healthcare that you want to see solved?
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, listen, I think that our issues with insurance companies and the pressures they put on doctors, it really limits them and how they can service their clients. And, I had, my father had been very ill over the last year and had a very complicated, many different things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very difficult for him to get the care that he needed, the way that insurance limits doctors and the amount of time that they can invest and how much communication they give between specialists. And we've really got to figure that out.
Yeah, we do.
I feel like the next stage is people are going to have to start hiring like doctors or consultants to help pull all the information together to make sure that the patients get the proper care and management that they need.
Yeah, healthcare is definitely a multi-factorial problem, and you have to solve all the problems to get the answers. So,
yeah.
Everyone, we were talking about lateral glute strength. Jaime has awesome bands. Really expedite your glute and hip strengthening. Great for injury prevention, to increase glute muscle activation, and to take your workouts to the next level. You can find out all the information about Jaime, her products, her services, and a lot of her workshops at JaimeBaird.com. We'll put a link in the comments below. And Jaime, thank you very much for joining us and making Orlando a healthier place.
Thank you.